I'm John.
I'm Amy.
And this is our Angry Pickle bus. So why did we decide to get a bus? Amy wanted a camper, and she has a Jeep. So with a Jeep, it's really hard to pull campers. We were looking for something super lightweight, and we just couldn't find anything within the price range. And then we found this bus
on
Craigslist. We bought it from a guy named Daniel and his girlfriend. He was a wildland firefighter. His wife, sorry. He's a wildland firefighter, and they basically buy a vehicle, fix it up, travel around for 6 months, and work for 6 months. So we found that. We got it for $4,850. It's a 2001 Ford E450. Bus is made by Bluebird. It's got a 7.3 liter diesel, 140,000 miles, automatic transmission.
Handicap. Accessible.
Yeah, it had the wheelchair lift in the back, so it's got a big door on the side, which is actually has worked out really good. Just for getting things in, a good spot for our garage where we have all of our power, and it's not too long. I think the whole bus is like 22 feet long. It's a really good size. But when we got the bus, drove it home, everything worked great. We started our build out. It took us exactly 85 days. We finished up this morning, and everything on the bus pretty much worked great. Parked it, started our build out, and then we went to start it, and the battery light was on. So we knew there was something wrong with the charging system. Well, worked around on it, and then went to start it. It wouldn't start. So what we ended up finding out is we had a few mechanical things we had to fix. Had to get a new starter. Got a new high torque starter. It turns over like 3 times faster than the stock starter. Got it on Amazon for 90 bucks. Took an hour to put it on. Works great. Charging problem, we took it to a mechanic. They had some problems figuring out what it was, so we actually took it home for the weekend, and so we could do some work on it, and found the troubleshooting steps. It's got a special high amp alternator on it, a Pentex alternator. It's 230 amp. Got online, found the troubleshooting steps, got my multimeter out, started doing troubleshooting steps, and within about 5 minutes figured out what it was. Everything on this bus has been fairly inexpensive, so it's like, you know, crap, alternator's gonna cost $200. So get online, start looking. They're actually about $900 to $1,000 for this alternator. Ended up finding one on eBay for, it's like $400. So while that really sucked, it was actually a little bit relieving compared to paying $1,000. So we're going to go ahead and show you our bus. We'll start with the outside, and then we'll show you the inside, and then we'll share some tips on what we learned along the way. Okay, this is the outside of the bus. First thing, we found these backup cameras on Amazon. Bought one, and the seller offered to give us another one for free just for reviewing it. So just made a little bracket out of a conduit hanger, some aluminum straps, some epoxy. So that was our second one. So now we have a side camera. Because these buses, this little window, it's kind of hard to see out. So we have a blind spot camera. It works great. You can't see them. I'll try to put a picture in the video. We have a Renogy solar system. We got 4 100-watt panels up on the roof. And this is the wheelchair door. And this is what we call our garage. So we got the Renogy Rover. It's a 40 amp MPPT controller. So very efficient, no wasted energy if it gets to where it's overcharging too much sunlight. We have 2 Mighty Max 200 amp hour AGM batteries. Those all run into a battery shutoff switch. A big fuse first, battery shutoff switch. This is Ames Power 3000 watt pure sine inverter, so we can run regular household appliances and sensitive electronics without worrying about it. From there, it goes into a Go Power transfer switch, 30 amp transfer switch. We have shore power running in from the other side. So whenever we are running shore power, we can just hook it up and it automatically switches from the inverter to the shore power. And then vice versa, if we get off shore power, it transfers back to the inverter. Those run into a breaker box. We have one breaker, 15 amp for the passenger side, one for the driver's side. And we basically just have one circuit on each side of the bus. And from there it goes out to the power. So for the back of the bus, there is our backup camera. And we'll show you those when we go inside. We have 2 separate monitors for those. This is the back of the bus. Basically just storage space. Plenty of room under the bed. We have a king size bed. Over here we have a 42 gallon freshwater tank. We started out with a 15 gallon drum and decided that wasn't going to be enough. So found these really inexpensive RV tanks on eBay for around $100. So we switched to that. We'll go around to the side. So right here we have our shore power. If we go to a campground, we prefer to not stay in a campground for the boondock, but we can just hook a extension cord right up to that. Everything inside automatically switches over to that. This is our filler for our freshwater tank. Just stick a garden hose in there. We have a filter we put on first and fill the tank up. And then if we are at a campground, this is our shore water, so we can hook up to, just screw a water hose right into this, hook into the shore, the campground water, and won't use any of our water out of our tank, and we'll have pressure, and it's all good to go. Okay. So here, this is our shoe storage area. We plan on making an armrest for the couch, and Amy had this idea. Very little ideas are actually original to us. We've watched a ton of bus videos and basically just copied everybody. The best ideas they had that we liked, we tried to use. So we saw this on somebody's video, I can't remember who, but that's our shoe storage area. If you come in here, so right here we have our side view and backup view cameras. And when we got the bus, it had a very large panel here with all sorts of switches and lights that weren't hooked up. So we eliminated the majority of those, just kept the ones we needed, which we haven't labeled yet. They're running lights, interior lights, and then the fan. Then we have a switch for the side view and backup cameras, so we can watch those. We have them where they'll stay on all the time, so we can watch while we're running down the road. But that's pretty neat. And we come over here. We call this our jump seat. We needed a place to shower, so we didn't really have room in the bus to put a shower. We thought about doing it in the bathroom, but we didn't. So we have this jump seat. Amy found this at Goodwill. The top of it, so it actually lays down, so it can be a footrest or a place for the dogs to chill, and it ratchets up and holds itself, so it can act as a reclining seat. But if we pull that off in here, it's dirty. We haven't washed it out yet, but you can see our shower stall. Then we'll go right here. There's a drain hole right there we can hook a hose up to, run it into our gray water tank, or if we're somewhere it's acceptable, we can just drain it outside. And onto our kitchen. This is butcher block countertop we got at Menards. Our sink, we don't have hot water in here, we just have cold water. But we do have a water heater for the showers. Put in a little hidden pull-out extension Not really a cutting board, but just something we can use if we need extra space. Microwave, got a little mini fridge. We didn't want a full-size fridge because we didn't plan on putting that much in it.
And a child safety lock.
And child safety lock to keep it closed. All our cabinets, we made all these ourselves. Cabinets were just really expensive. And it's kind of hard to get a cabinet to fit exactly how you want it. So we made the cabinet doors, all the cabinets ourselves. Inside here we have a FlowJet 3 gallon a minute RV pump. Runs straight off 12 volts, works really good. And then down here we have this where we can hook this up to our Triton portable propane water heater. Works really great. Heats up the water in like 3 seconds, so we can have a hot shower. Up here, all of our curtain rods, Amy found this idea online. They're all copper pipes. That kind of went with our theme. She also came up with this. Our spice jars, we don't have anything in them yet, but we mounted a metal plate up here. She mounted magnets on the jars, and they just go up there like that. Our shelves up here, those were all just cheap baskets Amy found, and we painted them to match our theme. And we put LED strip lights behind this side and the other side, so we can just hit that, turn them on. We can dim them, brighten them, and then do really stupid stuff that we'll never use with them. Right here, in our armrest, we didn't want to waste any space. So I'm a woodworker as a hobby. We had some black walnut, just some scrap pieces. So we made a nice black walnut top. Amy found a CD holder at a yard sale.
Goodwill.
At Goodwill. And she's got all her CDs in there ready to go. Now for our bed / couch. Found the back cushions at a, I think it was Facebook, on Facebook Marketplace. They're brand new couch cushions, and we need something to match. So Amy found some foam at Goodwill, and we bought a heavy panel curtain at Hobby Lobby, and she made cushions to match. So we can pull those off. We've got a bed just like most other bus Skoolie conversion people do. It's a pull out, so we can pull that out. The cushions lay down, so you can make it out into a bed. And then it slides in, and it also pivots up, so we have storage under there we can get to. And it's not too hard to lift up, slide out, but it's not, we probably won't put stuff in there that we use real often. Back here, we just have a 120 volt light, LED bulb, doesn't use any electricity. We put in USB port outlets so we can charge our phones while we're camping or on the road. Right here we have a remote switch that we can turn the inverter on and off with, so it won't be running when we're not using it. Up here is our storage area. We've got a box fan in here right now. We copied that from somebody else too. We just did it a little different, and the box fan stays right up there. This is our little bathroom. This is Amy's little arrow light, little LED light. This toilet is just a sawdust toilet, so we don't have to worry about a black water tank. We just have to empty it, which is no big deal, just a garbage bag. The sawdust really keeps the smell down, and we probably won't be using it unless we have to. Back over to this side, I forgot to show this. This is just a little storage area. In here we have our little vintage hamper, and we also have a portable air conditioner that we duct through a window. and it just stays in their tension rods. We hadn't quite figured out a door on that yet, but what is that? This is the storage space we showed you in the back. It opens up, and we have tons of storage space back there, which we're going to put Rubbermaid bins and so on in there. Now, for the bedroom. When we bought the bus, it had a full-size bed frame. That's all they needed. We prefer a queen size, so we ripped out everything they had in here, extended the bed out to a queen size, and then got an 8-inch foam queen size mattress. Back here, this is our little fan Amy got. We needed a little headboard, and we wanted to have as much storage space as possible, and we were trying to find a lid for this, and I had some black cherry wood that I'd milled up to use for a woodworking project, and Amy decided she loved that, so we left the live edge on it, debarked it, and then just repurposed it. It was kind of a bad piece, it was splitting, so we screwed in a piece of plywood to stabilize it. But we have a pretty deep storage space in there, probably about 16 inches deep, that we can put pillows, whatever we need. More shelves back here, all copper pipe, curtain rods, another shelf there. A vintage shelf, a little corner shelf there, with a little LED light on it. That's attached with command strips, so it won't come off. That's our little night light. And then Amy's barnwood sign. This came with the bus. The people we got it from, they had a lot of barnwood and just interesting little pieces of wood, and we decided to kind of leave this with it to kind of carry on the bus the way they had it. And Amy found this, and we kind of just jokingly decided on the name, and it fit. So that's the tour of the bus. I think we covered everything, and then we'll share some tips with you on what we learned along the way. And I forgot, this is our unicorn. It's an inside joke because everybody thinks I love unicorns and everybody buys them for me. So Amy bought me a unicorn, and this is our little letterboard that I just knocked the letter off, that we can change what we want it to say. And then our sign, everywhere we go, we're going to replace the state with a picture. So that's it. Okay, so you've seen the bus. Nothing is perfect, but we did the best we could. We're really happy with the way it turned out. According to Amy, it's her dream bus, and probably is mine too. It's been a lot of work, and a good bit of money, but not as much as buying a new camper. What we figured when we decided to build the bus is most campers are made out of particle board and plastic. Everything in here is solid wood. There is no bad wood in here. There's nothing that's going to get destroyed if it gets water sprinkled on, like particle board or anything like that. So what did we learn? Like the ways we saved money, what do we do?
Goodwill is definitely your best friend whenever you're trying to outfit a bus. You'll be amazed at what you can find and what you can repurpose, and also what you can copy off of somebody else is amazing. There's a lot of good ideas out there, and like he said, we just cherry picked everything that fit us, because we don't have kids and we don't have to deal with child-proofing things, and so this may be a little bit different than how somebody with kids would do it. So, and then there's just the two of us and our dogs, so we wouldn't necessarily need a whole lot more room than what we have, but that's why we chose a short bus versus a bigger bus.
It's plenty of space for us. We've had a few people mention to us that it reminds them of Fern the bus, and that is exactly what we were trying to copy. We aren't going to deny that. We love their bus, and we wanted it to look as much like theirs as possible. with our own touches. I think we did a decent job while still making it our own. What I learned about saving money is I use Amazon Prime almost exclusively, but Amy uses eBay a lot, so I would find something on Amazon and it would be a little cheaper, but I don't know if eBay's trying to compete with Amazon right now. But she would just email me, there'd be a 15 or 20% off coupon on eBay. It might be a little more expensive on eBay, but we'd jump on eBay, and with the coupon we would save a lot of money. Like the batteries we bought were $370 a piece, but she found coupons and we got like $70 a piece off with her eBay coupons, plus free shipping, plus no sales tax, which in Arkansas we have to deal with sales tax on Amazon purchases now. So it really did end up saving us a lot of money. The deal with Goodwill, all of the upholstery foam's super expensive. We found two giant pieces, two king-size pieces of upholstery foam for $18 at Goodwill. Never been used. It was just something somebody donated. So really,
painting was an issue. I would not recommend spray paint for the outside at all. The adhesive stickers, try and get those off before you paint over them because they are kind of a pain to get off afterwards. We found these giant eraser discs that you can attach to a drill on Amazon.
There's somebody on the Skoolie.net message board that said, hey, try this. It worked wonders. Amy had been scraping trying to get the letters, the school bus letters across the front and across the back off. No matter what we did, we couldn't get them off. Found this, a guy recommended. It's just a giant eraser wheel meant for taking pinstripe off. Just get on Amazon and search for pinstripe removal wheel. It's just a beige colored eraser. Super messy, smoky, rubber flies everywhere, but it took it off.
Yeah.
Clean, didn't leave anything. It was a godsend for getting the letters off.
The ceiling, if you have the perforated ceiling like we do, we did 4 coats of paint on the ceiling, and you had to water it down because it can plug the holes if it's too thick, and so it got real splotchy, and so we could not even it out. So that's why we have the pattern. We tried to kind of camouflage it, kind of make it look like we did it on purpose, but that was kind of a pain. Spray paint is the only thing I would recommend for the ceiling, and we would recommend using appliance spray paint for the ceiling instead of just straight white. It'll clean up easier, and for some reason it spreads more evenly than just regular flat white. So no spray paint on the outside, but spray paint on the inside. That's what I would recommend.
Another thing with as far as the ceiling goes, what we realized is we kind of panicked. One of the first things we did was paint the ceiling, and Amy was panicking over how blotchy it looked. What we realized is once we got everything in here, all the walls built, everything, the splotchiness, you couldn't hardly see it. So it didn't end up being near as big of a deal as we thought it was going to be.
But when it's the only thing that was in here, because we stripped everything down but just the bed frame,
it was extremely noticeable.
Yeah. I may have cried a few times over it.
So anyway, that's our bus. We did everything as cheap as we could. I think after the cost of the bus, everything we have in it, we probably have about $11,000 total in the bus. The most expensive thing was our power system, the solar system with the Renogy solar panels, 2 batteries, the inverter, everything. That was about $2,000 just in itself. But the advantage of that is we can go anywhere in the mountains or wherever else. We don't have to worry about having electricity. Today we were running 2 fans and a vacuum cleaner in here cleaning it out. The battery slightly dipped right after the vacuum cleaned on. Also the mini fridge was on, all running off of the batteries off solar through the inverter. After Amy shut the vacuum cleaner off, the batteries are back up to 100% within 45 seconds. We can go anywhere if we've got water in the tank and just go stay for days and not have to worry about anything. So we're all set. So that's our bus. If you liked our video, let us know.
If you have questions, let us know. We'll be happy to answer, because I know there's not a whole lot of sources out there for question and answers on this kind of thing, because we had to do a whole lot of figuring out ourselves. So
And
if we can help at all.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask us, and we'd be happy to answer. Thanks for watching.